Okay. Okay, we go live in about 3 minutes. Trying to get myself set up here. 2 minutes. Mhm. We are live.
Experiencing the void, understanding yourself, knowing what lies beyond the natural. The veil thins, the mind wanders. The universe is connected to all things. Join us as the Mudutu effect is starting. Only on SLE Radio at www.sleradio.com. Join us on Discord chat.
Well, it's another evening of the Mudutu effect. Hello, my name is Matt with Mudutu effect. I am beat. Yeah, I'm just really, really tired, but I'm excited. It's that strange sensation. Hold on a second. I had my monitors up too loud. Um, so before we get started, just to if you haven't heard, I am moving. Uh, well, we're all moving to the Saturdays. Yes, I'm moving to Saturday. My monitors are really aggravating the crap out of me right now. Uh, uh, so on August 14th, I get to avoid Friday the 13th on a show. As many technical problems as I generally have, so that are sometimes self-induced. I we're going to be moving to Saturdays. which I know a lot of people are excited about it because they were listening to my PSAs and having sheep and wolves in the background while they're at work wasn't working out for them. So uh, I can sympathize a little bit. So uh, last episode, I ran into a problem with my microphone. Yay. Some people call that a blessing. But so I'm going to kind of step back with some of the equipment just in case and then go forward. It's a because on the previous episode, I was talking about anywhere from the ovulus to K2 meters and all this, and you're going to see a common trend, and we're going to bend around that in a minute. But and if you're not on Discord, please do so. John went and got some tea real quick. I've got my coffee. But we're going to, and I'm also doing like I did last time. I'm recording this via video so people can see me acting like an idiot behind the mic, especially when the mic cuts out. Uh, so I'm going to drop into Discord. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go to the website, sleradio.com. Discord links directly there. It's a free chat platform. Also, you can go to mudutu.ca. You'll see the link at the top, says SLE Radio, and you can go directly to it from there. So I'm dropping the ovulus, and I think I got it out last time, but I just want to make sure. But the ovulus is basically a device in a nutshell. It has a bunch of words stored on it. This is the version that I have, and they're up to 5 now, so I'm a little out of date. It's just another gadget, so I didn't see a need in it. And I'll explain why. Because it contained words, a dictionary of 200 words, which is far more than what most Alabama graduates know about. And so every time it sees an event, it translates that event into a word. So it's actually not uncommon while you're on an investigation to have the same word keep popping up over and over and over. And these events are triggered by, but you can't guess, EMF. So, yeah. So, the latest ones are app based, and most legitimate paranormal investigators do not like apps in general because they can be manipulated. And no, the geomagnet in the phone is nice, but they utilize the microphone, which has a specific range, and we're going to touch on that shortly. And also, most phones use MP3 compression, and you have to have a better recording than that, believe it or not. So I'm going to jump. I apologize because I've got some very detailed information to get into, and I'm not sure where we lost it on the last episode. So the next device, which is one of my favorites, since everybody's so wrapped up in EMF, is called a tray field. And I just dropped that into Discord. The reason I like this little device is because it separates electrical fields to natural magnetic fields. And since magnetic fields go by ranges, you can set it to that. It's a very sensitive device. And you can also look for radio, like radio tower interference and things along those lines. So it works out really, really well for isolating man-made problems and reaching to a conclusion that maybe this is something that's not generated from a man-made product. So the trifield itself, I like to use it Um, not gonna lie, I don't use it to actually go around the location and say, "Hey, I want." If you can get it to spike, can you do this? I do this to come up with an analysis of the area. Kind of lets me know what to expect. Um, that way, I'm not walking with some equipment or even, let's say, like hairs on the back of my neck, and it turns out high EMF field or radio towers like blasting, get my 5G on. But either way, I like the tri-field. The tri-field is a great way to isolate, and but as you can see in the previous episode, I also mentioned it. It's everything is about EMF. It's always EMF, and not only can you use EMF to manipulate um, while testing in the field, but it is literally everywhere around you and an actual broad spectrum. An outdated concept based on natural magnetic fields by using man made influences. So it's uh, like I said before on the previous episode with EMF pumps and everything else, things like this can be manipulated by using them, for the TV shows. So keep that in mind. If you're watching one of these shows for entertainment, awesome. I can't wait for the new Ghostbusters to come out just because I like Ghostbusters. It's funny. But anyway, uh, so some teams have been gaining actual ground in new theories circling around DC voltage, since man-made EMF designed around AC voltage. And so they're focusing more on static fields. Uh, so I'm going to tell you a backstory of this. And Allison, my wife, was watching some of these shows, and she literally was. This is long before I met her, and she started pondering the thought: why is it that? I want to also point out that she's a paranormal investigator as well. So turns out she sees these shows and says, "Why is it every time the batteries die, something happens?" So she approached an electrical engineer and was like, "Well, why are they always focusing on EMF? What is the difference between EMF and the batteries?" Well, the electrical engineer's simple answer is, "Well, it's DC voltage." She goes, "Well, why is it all the batteries are draining?" And he goes, "Well, you may have a concept there." So they developed this device together. I'm not going to say its name because she sold her rights to the other party, and yeah, long story there. But anyway, so they made a small box that simulated um, all the different devices, DC packs, and in doing this, they went out to. She gave it to a couple of teams, and they took it to locations, and they used those locations. Places that they've already got test results from and whatnot, and so they were using it as they already had a control. So now they want to bring in a new device and see if something changed. Well, sure enough, every one of the teams reported back a difference. So now you have something that's not going to affect you, and it's simulating something that was giving you a proper response. So then I can't think of his last name from Home Improvement, but I turned into Tim, and I decided to make a new device, which I coined the Anubis Gate, which is 1.2 million. I'm doing the finger on the side of my lip. 1 million volts DC. It created a plasma field, and we used to get great results off of that. Now, if you touched it, it was a different story. But either way, uh, it would actually, and I made a couple of different models of it because I wanted to see whether or not a pinpoint aspect would work or if a radiated field of plasma because I think I mentioned it before, and also on the YouTube channel, we've already started isolating some of the audio frequencies in the plasma electromagnetic field range. Like I said before, EMF is a huge range. It's a massive spectrum. Trying to narrow it down, if it's anything, was becoming more and more difficult. So, and I see, let's see, yeah, I see Fallon's lurking in the background on Discord. So, she she actually drove me in that direction. So, um, Hippie is saying, please tell me you put them all on a big pedal board and hooked them together with a wee daisy chain 5 ways. Well, aside from that sounding very dirty to me, no, I did not. Yeah, and Jay is putting in a frequency range. It is an elaborate range. And the way you think about man made EMF is, and this is probably in the simplest way to look at it, is uh, a standard power AC power supply that's coming out of the wall is 120 volts, 100 type concept. So the reason it's volts is that translates into hertz. So you keep halving it going down 60 to 30, and you can keep going on. That's why there's a problem with it interfering with the brain waves. Just real quick. Also, on the areas that uh, I'm sorry, I had to pause on this. Um, I'm I'm really really liking this comment. Look, if I'm going to read you the comment, get on Discord. Why should I read the book for you? I'm going to do it like I do with my daughter. I'm not going to read the book for you. You read it. So, but thank you. Uh, so, real quick, last time I actually had a request, and I couldn't find the song, and I do know it's on here. I made it absolutely certain. So this was a specific song that was requested by Heilung. So I just substituted last time. So I'm going to real quick put it on before I go into my hardcore ramble rant of why and get more into this DC static field and other realms that we should be actually looking at. And I shall return.
Draupnir. Geiri, Freiki. Sleipnir. Gungnir. Ekole, 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 biu, bikoitse. Ekole, 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 biu, bikoitse. Ekole, ekole, biu, bikoitse. Ekole, biu, bikoitse. Ekole, biu, bikoitse. Ekole, biu, bikoitse. Augen, Maunen, og Alfadhirhaitir. Fimmúlfúlur, Fjölnir, Úlfur, Úlfrögni, Vekur, Þútur, Onski, Ofnir, Rúgnir, Ráðir, Grimnir, Gunnlir, Leifrær, Hangatur, Njólstafi, Náttvindir, Jólfúður, Jafnár, Atrífir, Alfaðir, Sitrani, Sigvaðir, Dúgir, Jafidres, Margir, Íleigur, Íflíði, Markvísir, Vinnis, Londungur, Lánir, Hugir og
I'm doing this juggling act, by the way. When I archived this, I got the video running as well. So there's a little bit of dancing involved there. Sorry. The only thing I was missing was my shield and my sword. But yeah, just glanced over at Discord, and Hippie put up a quote, and everything in the universe has a rhythm, everything dances. We'll get to that shortly. Perfect timing. Thank you, Hippie. So I'm going to pick on a research group, mine. I formed a group. I broke away from paranormal teams because I figured we were getting stuck in a rut, and I wanted to focus more on the research and development. So I brought in programmers, neurologists, theoretical physicists, from the states, and we focused more on theories and try to come up with devices to gather data. So this group I formed was called SOTG Group. Well, it's it was kind of redundant. It's Saskatchewan Occult Technology Group. So and this is where we focus on research and less on the investigation side of things. Now, when we come up with these little devices, we hand them out to teams and have them go test it. We understand that magnetic field fluctuations occur, but the natural ones, as we have measured this in the plasma electromagnetic range, we have also identified time distortions using a DTG meter. DTG, bleh, that's a mouthful, and identified specific frequencies in the hertz range. And what does all this mean? We have no idea. We keep finding pieces of these puzzles, but we're going to constantly research. We're looking through old 14th century text. We're looking everywhere we can, all the way up to modern theories, because we feel like everybody's been looking at the same thing. It's kind of like everybody goes into a museum, you look at the same painting, everybody comes up with a different interpretation. But there is a piece of that interpretation in each and every one of those that we can build off of. So many teams have also started experimenting with natural static fields. Since it's a natural event that happens based on the air and at the time, and there are also possibilities of locations occurring in the ionization in the air that allows possible events to happen. Paranologies I think they're out of California. They've been constantly developing equipment based off of these theories, but of course they're not as popular, but they're and it doesn't really focus so much on data collection. Their equipment focuses more on detection. Well, we want data, we want hard numbers, so it's that's the only way we're going to be able to develop this. So real quick, I was going to throw in a song, but instead, remember I said I was tired, and when I get tired, I get mischievous. So, meh. No, I don't want that one. We'll do this one.
Ever wonder if that kid's head is supposed to spin like that? Or maybe those voices from the television? Don't worry your small-minded head about these things. I am Veronica, and I am with Babylon Industries, and we have just the thing to help your lack of ability to cope with things you do not understand. We bring you Sage That Shit. Sage That Shit is a revolutionary scent to help you believe you actually doing something to help. Remember, if it goes bump in the night, just sage that shit.
So have you ever noticed how it's always sage it? Got to sage everything. Got to sage this, sage that. We're going to get in that in a different episode. By the way, since we're coming up on 30 minutes in, I think it's time to do the password. So, I'm not going to give it to you outright. You're going to have to hit your Google. You're going to have to, whatever you want to do. But but when you look this up, you're going to have to look at the information. I just want the name, but you'll be surprised what you may find. So I want to know who was the science advisor for Queen Elizabeth I. Who was, got to do this in a deep voice, who was the science advisor for Queen Elizabeth I? After the episode, the first person to post it in a comment of the contest on the SLE Radio Mudutu. I can't believe I said it like that. Uh, radio group. Well, I'll send you a prize. Simple as that. But you might be surprised when you actually read information on this individual. And I think I'm going to do a lot of these like that because I think it's important. Yeah. Okay. They're starting to get it on Discord. So uh, I'm keeping my mouth shut. So with this whole thing about EMFs and everything else, you notice I didn't throw up anything on Discord or talk about in a previous episode about EVPs and electronic voice phenomenon, that thing where they catch the voice on the recording. So let's kind of touch on that real quick. Okay, if you notice, I didn't bring it up, but there's a million ways to record audio, and I'd rather just focus on the concept. Electronic voice phenomenon is when an event, an anomaly, imprints itself into the recording. This all started with this whole magnetic tapes, those recorders, and the idea was that the ghost or entity was imprinting its message onto the tape, and was the device was it just picking up on audio variations and imprinting on the tape. Now everything's digital now. Everything's digital recorders, and this has become very controversial. Method of imprinting has become questionable. I get the theory of imprinting on a magnetic tape, but it's a digital device where their recording is basically ones and zeros. And here are the arguments that are often presented with digital devices. The focus became less on a magnetic imprint as much as the audio our ears didn't actually hear. A disembodied voice is a word or words that you hear while you're on investigation. And, so you actually physically hear it. So that means those are, within the range of your hearing. And much like the SB11, the theory of frequencies being used, the theory is that our voice frequencies can provide a ride-along carrier that can be discovered upon review. So to reinforce this a little bit, because I've actually caught quite a few EVPs that were very blatant, and I have no explanation for it. But think of it this way. Think of a ride-along as if you were riding a skateboard or a bicycle, and you grab onto the back of the passing car. You originally were traveling at two different speeds using two different mediums. But when you grabbed the vehicle, you were able to match it for just a brief time before your trip to the emergency room. So, with this being said, what is the preferred way to record audio? Well, legitimate paranormal investigators use wave and raw, mostly due to the lack of compression in the audio that MP3s create. This is why people tend to stay away from the phone apps. They're usually not recommended. And, also, the range of the microphone. That's a huge thing. The microphone plays a huge part in the recording. The style changes from location to location, but what is more important is the frequency range. Having a microphone that goes down to infrasound is the perfect scenario and goes beyond a hearing range of 20K. Now, how would you review that evidence if you can't hear it? Well, it's simple. You just use a spectrum analyzer. You're watching for peak points so that you can identify those peak points. So, with all the theories out there with EVPs, no one really truly understands how it works. But it does. What I want you to watch is how people are using the recorders on TV shows, and you may end up with a good laugh because it's hilarious when they're doing EVP settings, not understanding the concept of time, not understanding the concept of frequency range. Look at their microphones they're using. You'll be actually surprised to see that their microphone ranges are pretty much so for them. So in that case, that means that somebody's doing the whispering. Get out. The one that's in all the TV shows. Get out. So, um, I, I'm laughing at myself because I actually I had a series of songs that I wanted to play, and I wrote them all down, and I'm trying to rely on my memory, which is scary, horrible. So I'm going to play S.J. Tucker, which I know is on my list. S.J. Tucker, which with Witch's Rune.
Dark sunlight and shining moon, balance of the dark and light. Hearken ye, O witches' rune, as we perform our sacred rite. By earth and water, air and fire, by blade and bowl and circle round, we come to you with our desire. Let all that is hidden now be found. With censer, candle, book and sword, and ringing of the altar bell, we tie a knot within our cord to bind our magic in a spell. Mother of the summer fields, goddess of the silver moon, join with us as power builds, dance with us our witch's rune. Father of the summer dew, hunter of the winter snows, with open arms we welcome you, dance with us as power grows. Dance with us, our witch's rune. Ah, dance with us, our witch's rune. Ah, dance with us, our witch's rune. Mother of the summer fields, goddess of the silver moon, join with us as power builds, dance with us, our witch's rune. Father of the summer dew, hunter of the winter snows, with open arms we welcome you, dance with us as power grows. Dance with us, dance with us, dance with us, dance with us, witches, dance with us, dance with us, witches. By all the light of moon and sun, by all the might of land and sea, chant the rune and it is done. As we will, so mote it be.
Wow. One of the suggestions that I got on the archiving on YouTube was to reinsert the music back in. So that's what I'm doing, this little dancing number. So I'm just waiting for that one moment where I'm talking and I see the red light on the mixer board. Anyway. So has everybody looked up the science advisor, the Queen Elizabeth I? That's the password. You give me the name. Um, and those who have been here to the building, his picture's all over the place. So if you look at the history of him, you'll understand why. So I'm going through my notes, and we were just having this discussion on Discord before I came on, and I'm actually running ahead of schedule. What the heck? Which I'm kind of excited about a little bit because there's some extra songs I can squeeze in. Yes. So why is it that we're so focused on EMF for television shows? And I'm gonna give you the blatant answer. And why are paranormal teams running around chasing EMF? Because it's easy. It gives you an event. It gives you something to go run around in the dark and chase. It doesn't give you an answer because EMF is everywhere. Like I said before on a previous episode, the average home has 600 milligauss. So, yeah, we as a paranormal investigator, you don't want the easy. You don't want it to, and I mean, it takes the word investigator out of it. You know, that's just someone showing up with some blinky lights, and I like to call it the the check engine light syndrome. I do have one more song that I had planned to play, but it was kind of long, and I figured since it's so late at night, it would help relax. But I'm watching the time, so I'm gonna get it in. It's, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze it in now because it's just a little over 7 minutes long. And I want you to think about this when you're watching these. Now you're going to really want to watch these shows because when you see it, and you see what they're doing on these shows, it's literally hilarious to watch. So you went from watching Paranormal Investigators to now watching the Three Stooges. Just keep, I love that show, by the way. Curly, yes. Didn't like it so much when they brought in Shump. Anyway. But I am going to bring in this other song, if I can now find it. And also, I want to reiterate that this is the Mudutu effect. I'm not, I'm going to contradict Jay when I was listening to the morning show. I'm not the owner. The Mudutu effect is an idea. It's kind of like, this is why we get along so well with SLE radio. It's an idea. And no one can own an idea. Everybody has their own ideas. But in this case, this is a group of people. And this is far larger than me. And we are all, I won't say, I don't like the word invested, but we are all looking to grow and develop and find others that are willing to do the same. Not to join, but just to congregate. So anyway, I'm going to bring in Einar Selvik with one of my favorite songs by him. If you ever get a chance, watch his live performance because I love his commentary to this song. It's hilarious. So, and it's called Snake Pit Poetry. It's all based off of the legend of Ragnar Lothbrok when he died in the pit of snakes. And I like what he said. Somehow or another, when you're a great Viking and you're being bitten by snakes, you find time to write a poem. That was Einar Selvik. Get a chance, look him up on YouTube. He's also the lead singer of Wadruna, and I don't know if you could tell by the voice, but a lot of times you heard it in the TV series of Vikings. It's been in multiple video games. He's an amazing singer. His acoustics concerts are just over the top. So, real quick, regardless of the label, the root, the investigation, and research, the ultimate root is frequencies. Much like music artists reaching out with their music, this is a common environment in the paranormal. Understanding frequencies, is the route to go, rather, to gathering data. Investigations got caught up in the concept of blinky lights to confirm their own biases, and the research fell by the wayside, which puts us back many years of proper research. And this mostly due to the desire to be the next big giant paranormal superstar. I won't say his name. There seems to be a strong he shall not be named. There seems to be a strong movement to get back to research, and and I like to equate to the alchemists with the proper approach of turning lead into gold, where the actual meaning became misinterpreted over time. More on this later. So, next episode, we're going to be kind of delving into in the media world. I'm going to use the word the media world, the darker world. Hold on, I have this preset for me now. The darker world of occult and magics. So, of course, I can't go into elaborate detail on magics, but I'm going to focus on what the media has twisted to make everything evil. Evil. And, of course, dark, when in fact it's not. People are the root of that. So, with 7 minutes to go, I want to point out that with the upcoming episodes, actually on the 6th, when I come back on, all of the music that I'll be playing is off of a new release by Nytt. Didn't play any tonight because I didn't want to, run you through the ringer of so much Nytt. That is their release date, and I've been talking to them, so we chatted it up, and that's going to be their night. So I'm going to be inserting only songs off of their new release. Once again, if you get a chance, look them up, not just on Bandcamp, on Facebook, YouTube. They have some amazing interviews on there their family and getting their perspective and their insights on music, and the fact that the throat singing, normally in Norse music, the males are always doing the throat singing, and I am just ecstatic over the fact that the husband and wife are doing it together. So that will be dedicated to their night. They said I can play anything off the release. They are happy that it's getting played. They love SLE, and they're just been over the top amazing. I absolutely adore them. Um, Also, as always, if you got any questions, ideas that you want me to talk about, you can message me to the Mudutu Facebook page or send an email. And this is going to be really easy for you. The Mudutu Effect at mudutu.ca. Remember, Mudutu means knowledge. We're all here to exchange. It's communication that does it. So I've got 5 minutes. What can I squeeze in? I am looking at my, because I really want to put, because I don't know how bad I cut them off last time, or I went to a panic. If you could have seen, you got to watch the video of how I went into an absolute panic. So I'm going to. This will probably run over a little bit. Apologize. Oh no, wait. What time is it? I got to look at what time it is because we did some rearranging for Fridays. I don't know if I can run over. Cut me off. I don't care. But I'm going to actually. I know I'm just rambling right now. I'm just waiting for someone to pop on Discord and say, "Dude, put the red cup down." If you don't know what that means, don't ask. It's coffee tonight. So, in all seriousness, um, but there, I do have a. I will put on one Knitland, and then I'll say my goodbyes. Okay, I did it. I snuck in a Knitland, but hey, get over it. So, with 3 minutes left, my notes are clear. If you got further questions or something you see on TV and you want clarification, let me know. Because remember, paranormal shows are for entertainment purposes only. It's a great way to build theories, going like Allison did. What if? But if you're looking at that as your textbook way of how it's done, don't bother. Um, anyway, next episode, the occult and magics. I'm going to clear up the air on some of this that the media has pushed out. And yeah, and once again, I'm going to use Discord. And I'm including Discord in with my video archiving. So when you every time they flip me off in Discord, it's popped up a couple times already. So you're gonna have to look at the archive to figure that out. Just kidding. Holy crap, JW, don't get mad. Much love to you all. Please be safe, and always keep an open mind and never stop learning. Good night. Okay, well, we're clear. Close down. Oh, bright. Okay. Well, so this concludes another episode. So, hope you enjoy.